My name is Gemma Cudmore. I'm one of the cardiographers here. This afternoon I am handing out heart monitors to patients. They will come in through the drive-through, collect the monitor themselves, go home and fit them, and then return 7 days later. We are a very small department. Social distancing is very hard. We work from a corridor. We've not got any seating space, so currently patients who do come into the department do have to wait in the main foyer, and we go and collect them from there. So last year we decided to set up outside. It was very wet. We were working just outside, just behind us here at the bike shed. We had no cover, so now we have a lovely great big white tent, and it's much better. Patients don't have to sort of sit and wait. They're in and out within sort of 10-15 minutes. It's much safer for the patient to be out here. Obviously we can keep our distance. They haven't got to put themselves at risk then by coming into the hospital.
It seems fine up to now, but I'm a bit concerned about having to put it on. Although my daughter will help me, of course. You know, when I came before, it was actually put on in the hospital. I think this is better because it actually takes a lot less time, and the lady explained it all so well that I think I'll be all right. We'll be all right. It's only taken 9 minutes, and it would be at least half an hour if you were in the hospital. And
yeah, it's a lot easier. Yeah, it's quite quick. Just spoke to somebody, came straight in, because we've got a booked appointment. We've not had to wait, and don't have to pay for car parking.
It's a good idea. Well, I imagine it's been set up because of the COVID outside, but saves going in the hospital and putting pressure under them. And anybody asked me, I'd just say it was pretty straightforward, easy way to do it. Good setup. Yeah.
I think initially that sounds a bit strange, but actually, then reading it again, I thought actually what a really good idea. Really, really good idea. It means you're not taking out parking spaces, and parking is a premium. I think it would be a really good idea, and I think the trust should seriously think about keeping this facility, because it must save an awful lot of time and an awful lot of energy, and resources too. It must save an awful lot of resources.
When I first started in the post in March, we were only swabbing people on a 72-hour turnaround PCR test, which in practice means that patients have to drive from possibly Holsworthy, Beworthy, Bude to come into hospital to have their COVID swab test, and they get the results within 48 hours. The drawback of that is, one, the long journey, 3 days before they're due to come in for a procedure or hospital appointment, and also the mileage. There's a cost implication in that, and they have to self-isolate for those 3 days to ensure that the test, they obviously haven't contracted COVID in the interim. So a real inconvenience for patients, some of which are quite elderly, that may be undergoing treatments that would make them feel nauseous, so an extra journey really is difficult for them. So what we're trialling now is a same-day testing procedure, in which patients can come in on the day of their procedure, and they get the results given to them within 20 minutes.
The appointment for the COVID test was 1 o'clock, and the actual appointment at the endoscopy unit is 2 o'clock. So sort of only an hour. So just in between, and by the time they've done the COVID check, which I'm negative, thankfully, it'll be time to go over, and being pretty well isolated most of the time. And it's still a case of getting out and getting shopping or walking the dog, and just generally keeping a very low profile and self-isolating, which hasn't been easy for anybody, has it? You know, yes, but this obviously makes life a lot easier, because also we haven't got to make the trip twice. One stop wonder.
So we've started recording patient feedback on the care opinion surveys, and have had nothing but positive comments on the same day testing, along the lines of, you know, avoiding the mileage, avoiding the inconvenience of having to travel 3 days before coming in, and not having to self-isolate. So a real benefit for patients is what we're hearing back.